Section 7.2, here's our last example, example number 10. A deposit of $50 is made at the end of each month into a savings account that offers 6% annual interest compounded monthly. Find the value of the savings account after 30 years. Okay, so we're going to use the compound interest formula. So remember, it's A equals the initial amount, which is 50, times 1 plus the rate, so we change that to 0.06, divided by the number of compoundings per year, so divided by 12, that gives us our monthly rate. And then we're going to take that to the 12 times t power, and t is 30 years. So that gives us 50 times, and I'm going to go ahead and simplify what's in the parentheses. So the rate, 0.06 divided by 12, is going to be 0.005, so 0.5% per month. So that means that this number here will be 1.005. And that's going to be to the 360th power. Well, you've got here a geometric sequence formula, more or less, right? So let's go ahead and find the sum of all 360 months by using the formula a sub 1, so that's going to be 50, times 1 minus r, so our common ratio is 1.005, and then that's going to be to the 360th power, because the nth term, the last term number of the sequence, is the 360th term. And then we'll subtract 1 minus 1.005. Okay, so go ahead and put this formula into a calculator. I can show you the step-by-step individual numbers, but it's easier to just throw it all in there at once, and we should get 50,225 and 75 cents. So if all we had done was computed this thing right here, that would have given us the amount, if we started with $50 and then just went ahead and left the $50 in there to accrue interest over the 30 years. This is different because you're actually putting $50 a month into the account too, as well as getting the interest. So that's why we didn't just do this little part, which would have been, just for fun, I'm going to calculate it, 1.005 to the 360 power. So that would just be at the end of 30 months if all we did was start with the $50. So 50 times 1.005 to the 360 power, and that gives us, oh, is that it? $301.13. So basically you would turn your $50 into $301 over 30 years. Now this one, because you're doing $50 a month, it would be $50 per month for 30 years. So without interest, that means you would just be saving on your own $18,000. Okay, so this is, you put $50 in a savings account, 6% interest, you let it sit there for 30 years, you now have $300. So you've made $250 by just letting your $50 sit there for 30 years. This one is, you discipline yourself to put $50 a month away and just under your mattress or whatever, shovel that $50 away somewhere safe, and you have saved $18,000 by doing that, because every month for 30 years, right? This number comes from actually taking that $50 a month, putting it into an account that gives you 6% interest per year. That $18,000 that you would have put into it becomes $50,000 because of interest. So hopefully you can kind of see a little bit better the power of savings, the power of interest, and the importance of starting to save even now in your youth for the future. Because just a teeny bit, $50 isn't a lot, just a little bit over that long period of time, just accumulating can make a huge difference. Look at that. That's like $32,000 in interest. That's crazy.